Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Master Your Resilient Mindset Mondays. If you're new here, my name is Angela Willis, and I'm a wealth and wellness realtor, resilient mindset realtor, nonprofit leader, and creator of the Master Your Resilient Mindset movement. So, again, I want to welcome you all here on this channel. I share resilient mindset practices, tools, and financial strategies, especially for caregivers who may be in a season of transition, rebuilding, or reset. If you're if you're chasing purpose, looking for alignment, or trying to make some power moves, clarity always comes first. And listen, clarity is so underrated, but it's a rare treasure. And just like mastering your mindset is an ongoing process, so is clarity. It's not a one time event. So, again, I want to welcome you all here to Master Your Resilient Mindsets, the Master Your Resilient Mindset movement. And if you or someone you know is craving clarity, go ahead and tell a friend to tell a friend about Master Your Resilient Mindset. Don't keep this to yourself. Um, please share. So, I want to make a quick update. So for during the month of January, I should say, you all saw the wellness spiritual life coach side of me. That assignment was beautiful, but that season has wrapped up and I'm stepping into a new one. And this one is more caregiver focused and economic empowerment focused. Um, and so, with that being said, I'm naming this series Master Your Resilient Mindset Standing on Business series. And so, um, again, um, for those of you who do not know, I became a caregiver, a dementia caregiver in my early 30s while working full time, running a nonprofit, and trying to grow a real estate business. And I thought that the caregiving journey would be temporary, but it ended up being actually almost a 20-year run. So when I say I understand overwhelmed caregivers, I truly do. And that's why I'm launching this new series. So I'll be talking about how I moved from caregiver to entrepreneur a little bit later. But for now, I want us all to do a mental health check. You all know how I am very a big advocate of um, wellness. And so um, I have a saying, you all know the saying, wealth without wellness, it means nothing if you don't really take care of yourself. So I want you all to rate yourselves right now from 1 to 5. Drop the number in the chat. There's no judgment, just honesty. Um, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1, Lord, I'm tired, or 5, I'm doing all right. I would love for you all to do maybe a quick mental check, a mental note, or even put it in the chat, like I just said. So, and if you are feeling 1 to 2 or even a quiet 2.5, please think of 2 to 3 people you can reach out to when things are feeling a little bit heavy for you. Strong people need support too, and I always mention this to my fellow friend in leadership, that iron sharpens iron. And so, again, I want to ask the question before I get started. And that question is, how many of you believe this is the year to do things better with clarity? I would love for you all to type, put it in the chat. How many of you believe that this is the year to do things better with clarity? I hope you all said yes to that. And I just want to just mention in my last episode, I talked about how families, not just caregivers, can build wealth or create extra income um, as long as you have clear goals and clear expectations through multi generational housing. Um, it's not just a um, it's not just a multi generational housing, which simply means where you have 2 to 3 generations living under one roof. It can work if you work the plan, if everybody has the right type of mindset, and oftentimes it can fall apart very easily when you don't have if, when everyone is not on the same page and you don't have clear goals written down and you don't have clarity in the picture. And um, so again, tonight we're going to talk about dive a little bit deeper into talking about the difference between co-living and co-housing and why structured multi-generational housing is a solution for both affordable housing as well as sustainability. And so before I get started, I wanted to um, talk about, um, I want to actually share a video really quick and then we'll come back. So let's see if I can actually um, share it. Back in 2005, I inherited the responsibilities of taking care of both my parents, who were both diagnosed with dementia just a few years apart. Then, between the year 2020 through 2025, I experienced more trauma. I was juggling grief, debt, and trying to build a business from scratch. Yeah, life was given plot twists energy, but then came the breakthroughs. The first breakthrough was realizing that success is pointless without self care. Another significant moment occurred when a colleague assisted me in understanding that I was chosen to be a caregiver. Instead of resisting my caregiver experience, I decided to embrace it. That's how the Road to Economic Wealth and Wellness movement was born. To empower caregivers, multi generational families, and everyday heroes to build wealth and wellness through saving money, working together, and real estate. Hi, my name is Angela Willis, and I am the founder of the Road to Economic Empowerment Enterprises, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. I'm also the owner of AW Real Estate Group. As we move into a new season of service and impact, we are excited to announce the launch of our new community based housing initiative focused on multi generational and caregiver friendly housing solutions. Our goal is to help 15 families create multi generational housing within the next 90 days. That's correct, 90 days. Multi generational housing is when you have Okay, so as you all can see, um, again, in the video, I actually explain or talk about what multi-generational housing is. And multi-generational housing typically involves 2 or 3, as I mentioned in the video, 2 or 3 generations living up under the same roof. And it could be a win-win situation. Say if you have excessive daycare fees, the um, cost of maybe senior living expenses with one generation up under the same roof. Of course, you guys can do shared expenses, and it could be beneficial again on both sides, on both ends. But of course, again, I always you'll hear me say this over and over and over. It does take a particular type of mindset for that to work, and this is not uncommon among communities, the Asian, such as Asian communities, such as Hispanic communities. I see a lot of Hispanic communities actually in where I live in the Dallas area who are doing this. And what I want to say is that this multi-generational housing does not necessarily have to look one specific way. It can look a lot of different ways. There's some variations to it without getting into too much detail, but I will say that it's two different models that can follow up under multi-generational housing. One is to just save for money, and then there's the other model, which is the income, creating an additional income model, and where you may have an extra, you may convert the garage into an apartment, or you might decide to maybe you have a guest house or in the or a mother-in-law suite, and that is vacant, and you decide to use that, to um, maybe bring in additional income. So, however, I won't get into too much details with the income model. I will say with any kind of improvements, upgrades, any kind of conversions, you do want to make sure that you do look into getting your permit and go into codes and compliance, things like that in whatever city that you live in. So, but again, the concept is nothing new. This is nothing something I'm creating from scratch. Um, but oftentimes the reason for families utilizing this model is because of why pay two mortgages when you can pay one, and when one well-structured home can carry the load. And so if you're wondering if this is something, um, again, if this is a new this is a growing trend, yes, it is. And of course, as I mentioned, the stats, according to the National Association of Realtors, 24% of homes sold last year were multi-generational. So again, there's the reasons for many families using this model is for number one, of course, to combat inflation, and to, of course, this model can be very beneficial for again saving money faster and leveling up quicker. And so when you live together with intention, you can lower housing costs, share utilities, paying for assisted living, reducing childcare and senior care costs, as I mentioned before. And it can make life easier and more affordable. Sustainability, this model is also a great model for sustainability because families stay stable longer, and um, with people supporting each other. So, is this the solution? Is this one solution to the affordability and sustainability crisis? Yes, I believe it is. It's one solution, I think, that could beat the crisis that we're dealing with. And is it perfect? Nothing is perfect. Everybody has to work a plan in order to make it work for everyone. So again, everyone has to be on board. So let's talk about co-living versus co-housing. You might be saying, Angela, what's the difference? So let me turn on some music real quick. I don't want to just see some music. There we go. So back to the difference between co-living and co-housing. So co-living is, as I already kind of shared, is living in one house with a shared kitchen, shared living spaces. Everyone has their own bedroom, and of course, the pros of it is shared bills, community. Um, some of the disadvantages, of course, could be privacy being real thin. And you all probably remember, if you're old enough to remember, the Golden Girls. That's what co-living would look like. Um, Granted, these women were not related to each other, but that's what what co-living would look like. That model looks like you're up under one roof. Excuse me, under one roof, and everybody is sharing the living room, the kitchen, the bathroom, um, that sort of thing. So with the multi-generational model, this model is actually really pertaining to related families, not so much people who are not related. Um, but if that doesn't work out with your relatives, then um, again, you might consider extended family, and then maybe work your way out if um, that situation doesn't work out. But um, we're in this video talking about, or in this episode, I'm talking about related families, and so relatives, I should say. So co-housing is a little bit different. Co-housing is what you all probably think about, um, such as duplexes, triplexes, multifamilies, where you have multiple units and everybody have their own separate living spaces, but they share a laundry room, they share the gym or the workout room, even high rises, and even when it comes to condos and multifamily apartments, that's more of the co-housing model that I'm speaking about. And of course, the pros of it, advantages of the co-housing means more privacy, more independent. And some disadvantages would be group decisions can be slow. Maintenance questions can come up. And so what's the best thing to do, or what's the best way to jump ahead of potential problems, is to set expectations early and get expectations written in writing, and do a trial period. Do a trial period, and let it be known up front. I don't want to again get into the weeds, but what I will say is that if you are doing this, if you are You live or you're the owner and you reside in the property, you will be, you should be, whoever is the owner or whoever is the primary, um, whoever is the primary resident should be the one who is setting down the expectations, the rules, and getting it in writing. What I also want to say is that setting expectations and rules doesn't necessarily mean that you are um, collecting rent. It's just that you need to set expectations and rules, regardless if you are um, with anyone that you are being roommates with, and any yeah, with anyone who you allowed to let live and move in with you. So I cover a lot more in detail in my book and in the online course. And for those of you who want to learn more about co-housing or house hacking, being a way to create additional income, I will provide a link to my free ebook in the description. And I want to ask before we wrap this section up, which one fits your personality more? Co-living or co-housing? Drop it in the chat, and I would love to hear your answer. There's no right or wrong. And if this topic resonated with you, again, I go much deeper into my book, and the link will be in the description box so you can explore it when you're ready. And if you're in the senior care industry, whether you're a hospice provider, funeral home owner, or serve families navigating loss, I would love to connect. I want to better understand what the families you serve struggle with the most and explore how I can add value, either through education, partnership, or direct support. And also, if you are a mission aligned investor who wants to support caregivers through multigenerational housing, my nonprofit is looking for partners. So, again, I'm grateful. I thank you all for joining me on this episode. I hope it was helpful and beneficial to you all. And make sure you, of course, reach out to me you can reach out to me through my nonprofit, which the link will be in the description. Also, I will include the link to my actually my real estate page as well. So if you have any comments, questions, yeah, if you are interested in even wanting to advertise a little bit on this podcast, feel free to reach out to me as well on our contact page. So on that note, I wish you all wealth and wellness, and I'll see you all in my next video.